Yeah, I wasn't actually talking. I was letting you guys work on this problem a little bit. But yeah, always let me know because sometimes I do forget. Thanks. Oh, okay. So yeah, basically what we're looking for here is they've given us a set of data. They've given us some X values and Y values. Why they have the X values listed first, I'm not quite sure. They have the Y values listed first for some reason. But yeah, basically what you want to do is you want to take the values for X, plug them into the equation, and see which one gives you the Y values. So which one of those four equations would work for this data set? That's what we got going on. Okay. All right. Any guesses on this one? So here's a hint. The easiest one to plug in is right here. So plug in 0 for X and see which one gives you 4. Okay, Shelby thinks it's D. Yeah, that made it a lot easier, didn't it? Yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to look for. Plus, you notice these numbers, they're pretty big. So I'm not thinking it's going to be one of these guys that's just a, an X. It's going to be an X squared or an X cubed. So, all right, yeah, good job. Okay, so when they give you a table like that, always look to see if they give you a value for X equals 0, because that always makes life easier. Okay. Let's go ahead and try another one. Okay, so I think this one's just combining like terms. That's pretty easy. So the only thing I'd have to say about this was be careful with this minus sign right here. Okay. Okay, so Liz thinks it's A. What do the rest of you guys think? So usually the best thing to do with these is when they give you a minus sign up front, is go ahead and switch the signs. So we have 3x plus 5y and then minus 2y, and then minus and minus is going to be plus 7x. Okay, so go ahead and combine your terms and see what we come up with. Okay, so we are vibing on A. That's cool. So we've got 3 and 7, that's 10, so these guys are out. And then we've got 5 minus 2 is positive 3, so yeah, that's our guy. Good. All right, next up. So this is also combining like terms. Okay, so it looks like we're going with A again. Okay, so again, just combine your terms. So I got 5x squared and then minus 3x squared, so that's 2x squared. Like I say, look at your answer as you go along. Okay, so now are we going to get a plus 3 or a minus 3 for the x's? Since this is minus 4, I'm thinking we're going with the minus 3. So yeah, minus 4 plus 1, that's minus 3, so that's our guy. Easy peasy. All right. All right, let's run through a couple more. We'll call it a day. All right, so then we'll know which one of these guys is a factor of this polynomial. So this would be where we're going to set up like this, right? We'll have some x's here, and then we got to figure out the numbers. Okay, so we've got to vote for D. Which answer is definitely not right? There's one of these answers that right away you should be like, nah, it's not that. Yeah, the one with the -4. And why? Because remember, the numbers that we need here have to multiply together and give you 21. But the only ones there is 1 and 21 and 7 and 3. So yeah, this guy's automatically out. Okay. So then we just do our standard factoring. We could use our diamond or our X method here. So this guy is -21. This guy is -4. So since he's negative, we know one of these guys has to be minus. And since it's a 4, I guess we're going to use a 7 and 3. The question is who goes where? So since we said D, that would be x -7 and x plus 3. Now let's just make sure that works. So we got -7x plus 3x. So it's -4x. And as we always said, if you can get the middle term to line up, you're in good shape. So that's our guy. Good. But like I said, even if you totally run out of steam, if you realize that 4 doesn't go into 21, you can get rid of an answer right out of the gate. All right. So good work, everybody. We'll do a couple more and we'll call it a day. This one's a little tricky. We don't see this one very often. So we're probably going to have to talk about this one a little bit. All right, so pop a little something in here. This is the formula for this thing. And like I said, we don't see this very often. So yeah, I'm a little surprised I brought this one up. I don't know that you'd actually see one of these, but just in case. So based on the way it looks, yeah, it's not going to be A, even though that looks like the obvious answer. But it won't be A. All right, so here's the thing on these guys. What you need to do is you need to take the cube root of both of these. So I need to take the cube root here and the cube root here. And that'll give you A and B. So the cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of x to the third is x. So A is going to be 3x. And then B is going to be just the cube root of y to the third. That's just y. Okay? So the first part says A plus B. Notice this is the only one that does that. So I don't know. Chances of you getting one of these, like I said, it's probably pretty slim. That's the formula. So you take the cube root of those guys, you do a plus b. So notice the sign stayed the same here. Then this guy switches, and this guy's always positive. So if we plug the rest of the stuff back in, we should get this guy here. But the thing is, right at the beginning, we know that it's going to be 3x plus y. Okay. So yeah, that's a little bit of an oddball one. Okay. All right, so let's knock out the last two. We'll probably get to finish early today. That's a good thing. But yeah, hopefully this has been a lot easier to read than yesterday. I know that I just couldn't get that thing to blow up, so I literally took screenshots and blew it up myself. All right, so let's look at the last two. Okay, so which one of these guys is going to be x minus 3 squared? All right, so we got some votes for B. All right, so a couple ways you can do this. You can just write this twice and FOIL it out, right? So here we go, x times x is going to be x squared. Minus 3 times minus 3 is going to be plus 9, right? So that eliminates these two guys. Okay. So then after that, we do inside guys, so it's going to be minus 3x. And outside guys is going to be another minus 3x. Add those guys together, you get minus 6x plus 9 in the x squared. So yeah, B's our guy. Good. The hack on this one, again, is you square the first guy, square the second guy. He's always positive. Multiply these two together, so I got minus 3 times x is minus 3x, and double him up. So minus 6x. And that's your guy. Good. Okay, last one. All right, we got a couple votes for A. So remember, the deal with these is when they say about the zeros of a quadratic, that's basically saying we've got x plus 6 times x minus 7, and we want to know when that guy equals 0. So again, what we have here, we have two numbers. We don't know exactly what the numbers are at the moment, but we have two numbers here. There's 1, there's 2, that multiply together to equal 0. So that means either the first set of parentheses has to equal 0, or the second set of parentheses has to equal 0. So at that point, you just say to yourself, what number do I put in here for x that'll make that go to 0? And pretty much the answer to that is always switch the sign. So x equals minus 6. So minus 6 plus 6 is 0, which makes the whole thing 0. Same thing over here. Plug into here. If I plug in x equals 7, 7 minus 7, also 0. So there's our guy, x minus 6, x plus 7. So yes, it is A. And on that happy note, we have done all the questions that I prepared for you guys today. So we'll get to take off a little bit early. That's a good thing. I've already got attendance for you. So we are done for today. Hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow. And we'll go from there.